In the modern world, we are often bombarded with countless influences and pressures, whether from social media, work environments, or personal relationships. It is easy to feel overwhelmed, manipulated, or even used by others if we are not mindful. To navigate these challenges, the philosophy of Stoicism offers profound wisdom. Stoicism, a school of thought founded in Athens in the early 3rd century BC, teaches resilience, self-control, and the pursuit of virtue. Here, we explore 5 powerful Stoic lessons that can help you avoid being used and manipulated. Understand what you can and cannot control. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, taught that we should focus our efforts on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, and let go of the rest. This understanding can shield you from manipulation, as manipulators often prey on those who feel compelled to control every aspect of their environment, including the actions and opinions of others. When faced with a situation where you feel manipulated or used, pause and assess whether it is something within your control. For instance, if someone is trying to sway your opinion by appealing to your emotions, recognize that while you cannot control their actions, you can control your reaction. By focusing on your internal state and remaining calm and rational, you maintain your autonomy and prevent others from influencing you against your will. Example: imagine a colleague trying to manipulate you into taking on extra work by playing on your fear of being seen as uncooperative. By recognizing that you cannot control their perception but can control your response, you can calmly decline the additional workload if it is unreasonable, without feeling guilty or pressured. Practice emotional detachment. Stoicism encourages the practice of apatheia, a state of being free from destructive emotions. This does not mean becoming emotionless, but rather learning to manage your emotions so they do not control you. Manipulators often exploit our emotions, whether it's by inciting guilt, fear, or anger, to bend us to their will. By practicing emotional detachment, you become less susceptible to these tactics. Cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness to recognize when your emotions are being manipulated. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a step back and observe your feelings objectively. Ask yourself whether the emotional response is justified or if it is being manipulated by external forces. Example: suppose someone tries to guilt-trip you into doing something by bringing up past favors or appealing to your sense of obligation. By maintaining emotional detachment, you can calmly evaluate the situation, recognize the manipulation, and make a decision based on reason rather than emotional pressure. Cultivate inner strength and self-sufficiency. Another key Stoic principle is the cultivation of inner strength and self-sufficiency. Stoics believe that true happiness and contentment come from within, not from external sources. When you rely too heavily on others for validation, approval, or support, you make yourself vulnerable to manipulation. Build your self-confidence and self-reliance by setting personal goals and working towards them independently. When you are content with who you are and what you have, you are less likely to be swayed by others who seek to exploit your insecurities. Example: if someone tries to manipulate you by withholding approval or affection to get you to do what they want, your inner strength will enable you to stand firm in your decisions, knowing that your worth is not dependent on their validation. Embrace the practice of negative visualization. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, is a Stoic exercise in which you imagine potential negative outcomes to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. This practice can be a powerful tool against manipulation, as it helps you anticipate and plan for situations where someone might try to use or deceive you. Before entering into any significant decision or relationship, take the time to visualize potential scenarios where you could be manipulated or taken advantage of. This is not about being pessimistic, but rather about being prepared and resilient. Example: if you are entering into a business deal, imagine the ways in which the other party might attempt to manipulate the terms or take advantage of you. By anticipating these possibilities, you can prepare your responses and set boundaries in advance. making it much harder for others to use or deceive you. Before entering into any significant decision or relationship, take the time to visualize potential scenarios where you could be manipulated or taken advantage of. This is not about being pessimistic, but rather about being prepared and resilient. Example: if you are entering into a business deal, imagine the ways in which the other party might attempt to manipulate the terms or take advantage of you. By anticipating these possibilities, you can prepare your responses and set boundaries in advance, making it much harder for others to use or deceive you. Live according to your values and virtues. Stoicism teaches the importance of living in alignment with your values and virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When you have a strong moral compass and clear principles, it becomes much harder for others to manipulate you because you are guided by your own internal code rather than external influences. Identify your core values and make a commitment to live by them in all aspects of your life. When faced with pressure or manipulation, refer back to these values to guide your decisions and actions. Example: if someone tries to pressure you into acting against your ethical principles, such as encouraging you to engage in dishonest behavior for personal gain, your commitment to your values will give you the strength to resist and make choices that are true to who you are. The Stoic philosophy offers timeless wisdom for those seeking to navigate a world filled with potential manipulations and power plays. By focusing on what you can control, practicing emotional detachment, cultivating inner strength, preparing for challenges with negative visualization, and living according to your values, you can develop a strong defense against those who seek to use or manipulate you. These Stoic lessons empower you to maintain your integrity, autonomy, and peace of mind, regardless of external pressures. Remember, the power to avoid being used or manipulated lies within you. By embracing these Stoic principles, you can lead a life of greater freedom, resilience, and fulfillment.